It's your friendly math tutor, Miss C here, and today we are finding the point of intersection. We have two equations that have a lot of fractions in them. There's lots of different ways to solve these. I'm going to try to go ahead and isolate one of the variables in the first equation. I'm going to do that by cross multiplying because I notice my denominators are different. So when I cross multiply, by the way, this only works if you have an equal sign. I'm going to be multiplying 2 by 3x plus 8. And I'm going to do the same thing over here, and that's 5 times 3y minus 1. So I'm going to go ahead and simplify this by distributing. So we have 6x plus 16 on this side, and we have 5 being multiplied by both of these terms, so 15y minus 5. All right, at this point, I'm going to try to get 6x on its own side, and then I'm going to pause there and work on the other equation and see what we end up with before I do a whole lot of extra work. So to get 6x by itself, I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides. When I do that, I get a 0 here, and I'm left with 6x equals 15y minus 21. So I'm going to just kind of let that sit here while I work on the other side. So, our other equation, pardon me. So, what I notice about the other equation is that I see in the denominator of both fractions, there's a 2. What that means is I can easily get rid of that denominator by multiplying the entire equation by 2. Remember, we have to keep the equation equivalent. We are just trying to make it look different so it's easier to work with. So this 2 is going to get multiplied by this term. So we could really think of it like this: 2 times x plus y divided by 2. And when we do that, look what happens. The 2's divide out and make a 1. So really, I end up with x plus y. So then I'm going to do it to this term. Okay, I have to do multiply by 2 for every term. So I get 6 here. And I'm going to do it to this term. And it's going to be the same idea as that 1 that I just showed you. So the 2 comes out of the denominator, and I'm left with plus x minus y. So now I'm going to look at this, and I'm noticing I've got an x and an x on both sides. So what I know is that if I try to move this x over, my x's go away. They both equal 0. So now I'm left with y equals 6 minus y. So I'm going to add y to both sides because I'm going to try to get y by itself. I end up with 2y equals 6. And look at that. We now know the value that y equals 3. So that's great. I have set myself up perfectly here because now all I have to do is substitute in y and then solve for x, and I know the value of x. So here we go. Everywhere I see y, I'm substituting in 3. I'm going to do that in blue so you can see what substitution I'm making. And then I'm just going to go ahead and simplify the right side and then solve. So 15 times 3 is 45 minus 21. We end up with 6x equals 24. I'm going to divide by 6 on both sides. X equals 4. Because we want to make sure that we did all of our work correctly, and especially if this is a test or something, we want to make sure that we did this right. I'm going to go ahead and set up a way to check this. So everywhere I see x in the first equation, I'm subbing in 4. Everywhere I see y, I'm subbing in 3. So I can see that 3 times 4 plus 8 divided by 5, and that's supposed to equal 3 times y, which is 3, minus 1 divided by 2. So let's simplify this out. We have 3 times 4 is 12 plus 8, which is 20 divided by 5, equals 3 times 3 is 9 minus 1 divided by 2. That actually is 8. 20 divided by 5 is 4, equals 4, so that is correct. We want to do it on the other equation as well to make sure that that also works. So I'm going to just do this one in my head because the numbers are smaller. So x plus y, so that's 4 plus 3 is 7 over 2. So that's the left side, equals 3 plus 4 minus 3, which is 1 over 2. So I know that 7 halves is 3.5, and that equals 3 and a half, or 3.5. This one is also correct. So our solution is x equals 4, y equals 3. Your teacher may also ask you to write this as a coordinate. So if you wanted to, you could also write it as 4 comma 3. And this tells me that the intersection point of these two lines is 4 and 4, 3. So when x equals 4 and y equals 3. Make sure to subscribe for more videos. Thanks for joining me. Till next time, remember, you've got this.